Welcome back to the Culture Crusade, and I'm feeling crap, sick, and I don't know how I'm gonna go because I don't have any energy. But at the same time, I act a little bit more retarded, a little bit more loosey goosey, and I say stupid things like loosey goosey. So this stream is just gonna be wild. I don't know what's gonna come out, guys. I don't know, but it's good to be here.
Do you like dark chocolate?
No.
What? That's why you're sick.
I was tempted to go really hard against dark chocolate. It's like I'm not some inbred. I'll stop myself. Look at that, right? But I actually don't have strong feelings about it. I wish I had strong feelings about it because I feel like roasting something because I'm sick, and I just don't give a crap when I'm like this. But I guess I shouldn't. Roast something undeserved because it's dark chocolate. I'm not racist, wonderful. Okay? See what I mean about
you like that? You like that milk chocolate stuff, don't you?
You like the dark stuff.
I like it dark. The darker, the better. Let's go.
I want to do I want to make a new intro to the live stream. I just haven't got around to doing it because I have the means to do it now. Make a whole song for it, I reckon. But anyway, that's beside the point.
There it is. Texas Nita said dark chocolate is great when you're sick. Dark chocolate is along with other things, is a vasodilator. So it opens up your arteries so you get more blood flow. So you get more energy.
Might do that because I'll just be like,
it's a good healthy snack too. Dark chocolate. Is get some walnuts maybe.
It tastes good though.
Very high in polyphenols. It's God's gift to health.
Laying down some information about the dark chocolate right there. Some statistics, one might say.
All in love with dark chocolate nuts.
I'm trying. Man, my brain is just, and my camera is stuffing up. Do everyone see that? Do you see that? Like,
even your camera's sick.
Even my camera's freaking sick.
It's like you're in animation.
I know, and it's like it goes onto sleep mode when I'm not moving, and then when I suddenly move, it's jittering, and then it catches up. And it's like, oh, I'm fine now. So this Culture Crusade is going to be a crap show, and I'm here for it. It's going to be fun.
How is that different from the other ones?
Yeah, I know, right? It's part of the course. Oh, there's fun stuff to react to. Let's not bury the lead, though. There is a new Superman clip that people have been talking about and sharing. And I'm sure you guys have seen it.
I'm not, unless it's just the little clip where he's flying through the thing.
Yeah, the little
I've seen. That's it.
Clip. Yep, this is it. It's just this.
So,
people have been dunking on it.
Wow.
And all right, I'll pause it and see if you can notice it. Okay. So, and it's just something like, I don't think it means anything for the full quality thing. Look at my freaking camera. I think I just need to turn the camera off. That's not turning the camera off. That's
leave.
All right, so we got some people in the chat. They think it looks bad. Buddy Rabbit doesn't like the cape. Not sure yet, but there is something that people have been laughing about, and we'll see. So we got
the cross-eyed thing.
All right, can you see it?
Well, can he see?
He's wall-eyed.
Now, can he see? That's the important question.
It's a little hard not to notice. Now, I don't know.
This
might be a condition that the actor has, and if it is, I don't want to laugh at him. Like
my son can do this, but he does it on purpose. That's funny.
It kind of feels like this is a compilation of his faces put together because the CGI or something.
And so, look, that has been throwing a lot of people off, and I don't necessarily think it's like nice to laugh at. Yet I can also see the humor. People have made funny ones like. There's like that image of the actor who says like hello fellow
hello fellow kids.
That actor he's in a movie where it's Steve Buscemi or whatever his name is. There's a thing of him like in a movie where he's like purposely got like bung eyes, and they've been putting his face on this and just people have been memeing on it. As to the overall thing, I don't think this sways the needle any direction for me. It's Superman flying. We would expect this, kind of the bare minimum. Does it look good? Not terrible, I guess. The outfit still looks like crap in my mind. And it's just Superman doing a spinny flyy thing. So, meh. What are your thoughts on this? Does it wow you?
Well, now I can't unsee the wall-eyed thing. I didn't notice it before.
It's kind of one of those things, isn't it? It's just like that still is a bit,
Yeah.
And if it's just the actors, like, I feel bad. It's just,
I mean, I like it's the primary colors. The red's a little bit darker, which works because it's not less contrasty. The thing I honestly don't like is I'm really appears. I hate the Superman collar. I like it when his suit comes down here.
Oh, really? See, I like this. I don't mind the collar. I don't mind the collar. I reckon the new 52 collar looks good. Look at my man.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that. But I mean, I'm not going to be picky. It's like,
see,
the colors are right, which is the big argument with the whole Zack Snyder thing. Is they tried to make him into Batman with freaking super dark blue and dark red, and it's like this looks much better in that regard.
What do you think about the S? They've gone with the Kingdom Come S.
I could go either way.
So I love the classic S. I love it.
Which classic S?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? Because there's a lot of versions.
Yeah.
The Henry Cavill S, I actually quite liked, where they tried to integrate some kind of new additional line work to it, some detailing, and kind of made it look possibly like an alien symbol. That's kind of, I don't mind that. Now, the Kingdom Come S, I do really like. I'm just not sure they've earned it there, because that's like Superman at the very end of his, thing. And this feels like this is the earlier stage Superman, and it feels like it's just a bit too early.
I don't remember what the reasoning was, or if they even mentioned it in Kingdom Come, why his S looked more graphic.
Yeah, it's got stronger, like, sharper angles, which I don't mind. I kind of like. It matches the more alien kind of thing that I think Superman's outfit should kind of match.
And I think this is James Gunn being a nerd. He's I love the Kingdom Come S. Let's use that. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's like long foreshadowing that this one is going to be Superman. He begins. He's fighting the bad guys. And this is kind of where our Superman's going to be like. And then, boom, later on, see, it was a Kingdom Come S. Now he's evil, and Wonder Woman is a weirdo now who wants to take over the world.
Where is that one from?
That's Injustice, not Kingdom Come.
That's also in Kingdom Come. Like, she was also like that in Kingdom Come, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Didn't she also go along with Superman's nonsense? They also have in gulags. They had gulags in Kingdom Come.
I need to because I get Kingdom Come, and what's the one where he goes into the sun to repair the sun? That's Superman.
That was All-Star Superman.
All-Star. I get Kingdom Come and All-Star Superman mixed up.
Like All-Star Superman I liked a lot. It was like the last that was the last story in there where he has to go repair the sun because it got infected by a sun virus.
Something like that, yeah.
And the last shot of All-Star Superman is cool because you see him in the sun fixing it. It's pretty cool.
So like I said, I get those mixed up. So I think I need to reread the Kingdom Come version because
I can't find mine.
Yeah. So the S is all right. I could go with the S. What I hate is the outfit looks like thick rubber that can barely move, and it's not, hugging his body. It's not contoured. It looks ill-fitted. And I don't like the material necessarily. I guess if the material fit better, I'd be fine with it. And those are my main.
It shouldn't be baggy.
Yeah, exactly. And so, this doesn't dissuade any of my views of that. I still think it looks too thick on him. Now, I've said it this time and time again. I've been probably one of the most negative people outspoken on the recent Superman trailer. Had a hell of a lot of fun arguing about it on FNT. I want the movie to be good. That's why I'm so picky. Superman is one of those things for me where I love the character. I love it when it's done right. It's my childhood superhero. And so I'm ultra picky, which is what nerds are like. Okay. When it's something that they love the most, they're the most critical usually.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have to when they make something like Superman or something that has a lot of nerd attention and allegiance and love. They know it should come to the territory. Like, okay, they're going to be paying attention to every detail, like obsessively. So they should know going into this thing,
including his eyes. It's hard not to notice. That's all we're saying. Okay.
It cannot be unseen.
This subtle foretelling, foreshadowing that the James Gunn future will go into two different directions, and he's looking at both.
Yeah, right. It's like, which way? And oh man, I'm actually worried because James Gunn, he likes to be subversive, edgy. So I don't know. I really am concerned that he's not going to be able to nail.
Now, I really did like James Gunn's Monster Commandos. Creature. Yeah, it was really good. It was fantastic. I was expecting it to be cringe, and like I was expecting like, oh, this is gonna be like woke crap or cringe or what. No, he's good. But then again, Creature Commandos is still like Suicide Squad. It's still like a Guardians of the Galaxy, like misfit anti-heroes do violence and stuff. So it's still not Superman. Like it's a whole different skill set than writing Superman. But I will say that Creature Commandos was pretty good. I recommend you check it out.
Interesting. All right. It's kind of been on my maybe list. I'm even tempted to try to take a look at Skeleton Crew.
Oh yeah, I heard that was good actually too.
I've actually heard it isn't the worst thing. But it's just that no one cares about it because it's not actually.
Or it's like Goonies in space.
Yeah. But then, oh man, I have some important things I need to put on my watch list. I still haven't watched Daredevil season 3, and I need to, and because the new Disney Plus one is coming out, I need to complete my watch of that.
Is that the Punisher one? Is that the Punisher one?
Season 3?
Yeah.
No, that's the one where Bullseye comes in.
I didn't watch it either. I watched the Punisher one, and I think I didn't watch season 3.
Netflix Daredevil is just phenomenal. The first 2 seasons are so great. The thing that soured me on the 3rd season, which is why I never got around to watching it, is because of what's the team up the Netflix shows did? Defenders. And I like Jessica Drew season 1, but Iron Fist was complete dog crap. What's the black guy who's like invulnerable?
Iron Man or Power Fist?
No,
Iron.
That's Iron Fist.
That's Power Man.
Luke Cage.
Iron Fist, Power Man, Iron.
The Netflix
all those 3 names get all mixed together.
Yeah. Well, the Netflix Luke Cage was crap. Iron Fist was crap. Jessica Drew became crap. A good first season, and the Defenders was astounding crap. And season 3, like of Daredevil, actually follows on from Defenders season 1, and I was so ticked off with Defenders. It's like it soured me on it. I never watched season 3 Daredevil, but now I need to watch it.
I remember it now. Yeah, Wilson Fisk.
And yeah, so that's on my list. And there's even a couple of other things kind of on my list. And I've started watching like it's not super old school. It's a remake of a classic anime, Star Blazers, with the space battleship Yamato.
Yeah, I watched that as a kid.
And I'm watching the remake, and I'm enjoying it. It's
fun. There's a remake?
Yeah. It was made in like 2014, I think.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Because anime is just better. I have a much better, like, chance risking my time on an anime than anything else. Because I've finished up watching Freerun.
Oh yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I like it. It's
pretty good.
It's pretty good. It was harder to get into because it started so slow and very melancholy reflective. But what won me over is a character. They actually, I think, have done a masterful job of this type of character where she is this immortal elf that's basically disconnected from the human kind of experience. She doesn't understand the flow of time. And so she has trouble understanding or connecting with people on an emotional level. But the show kind of shows her progression, coming to a deeper understanding and connecting with people. And there's lots of reflections with a relationship with, I forget his name. It'll come to me later, but it's the blue-haired hero. Himmel, yeah.
Himmel the hero.
Himmel the hero. And she kind of, it's actually kind of touching, where she realized how much Himmel meant to her only at his death. And that's when she breaks down crying. So it's got some really kind of, tender emotional exploration in the show that like you don't fully expect. And then there's just funny, quirky things about her character. Like she's thousands of years old, and she always gets trapped in mimic chess. She can't, and
she can't stand it. She has to go in there.
She has to. It might have her grandma.
Also, she always oversleeps and stuff too. Like
always
oversleeping.
So there's actually some great things in Freerun. I really enjoyed. And so that's kind of the more recent stuff that I've been watching. And so I hope to get to some of these other things, but we'll quickly catch up some super chats, and then there's just heaps of funny stuff to catch up on through this week. So Buddy Rabbit, $2 is poopy doopy. Well, rabbits do tend to do that quite a lot. This is correct. And
I do like one thing I did like about Freerun is that they did some interesting things with the second priest. I think he was called the goatee priest.
Yeah,
I forgot what his actual name was, but they kind of had the whole thing of like he's into women, and he's kind of a little bit lustful. That's why he joins them. But opposite to the traditional anime thing, he's not into young girls. He wants an older woman to travel with.
Exactly, and because Freerun doesn't look old, he's like, yeah. He's not.
Yeah, they're like, oh look, Freerun's 1,000 years old. She fits the bill, right? He's like,
I know.
No.
No, it's like, no, I'm not into that at all. And it's funny.
It's that meme. It's like the 1,000-year-old lolly. No. I want an actual older lady.
And Freerun tries to kind of not seduce him, but say, oh, if you want a cute older woman, I'm exactly that. And she blows a kiss and he's like, nah.
He's like, it worked for Himmel. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, and then whenever she flashback to her doing it at Himmel, and he like falls over with a blood nose. There are funny, quirky moments in it.
Nothing beats the moment where she goes, kill yourself. And
oh, dude, what I like, the best thing about Freerun is the demons. The demons are unapologetic, irredeemable monsters, which is great.
They'll tell you so. They'll tell you so themselves.
And what's funny about it, the left have been getting totally triggered by it.
Because they're the demons. They're the demons. They're soulless, evil entities that use language as a weapon.
It's bizarre, but that like it is actually odd. It seems like leftist or woke activists are getting really triggered because they identify with the demons. Well, that's me, trying to tease them. They try and say it's because it's an inherently racist thing to depict a race of creatures as irredeemable or inherently evil. That's how they would try and describe it. And everyone in response is like, it's fiction. They're monsters.
Also, they are SJWs are really good bad guys. And I think that even if they did take inspiration from SJWs to make demons are really good bad guys, and they are exactly like SJWs. They don't care about their families. They don't care about anything else. They just care about killing everything around them and being the dominant force. And they'll tell you that. They're even, and the thing is, even if they were nuanced and had cultures and everything, they would still be righteously the bad guys. You could still have a righteous vendetta against them, because they will say to your face that we're here to kill you. We're here to wipe you off the face of the earth, and we're here to take your place. That's what they say. So no matter what, they're the bad guys.
Right. And the fact that they use language specifically to deceive is an interesting one. And I want to find some of these Freerun fascist posts and stuff, because some of them are pretty,
like I found the fascism. Like, oh, you mean killing demons?
yeah. It's like,
isn't that what we did in World War II? No one complained about that.
Yeah. All right. So I thought I had one bookmarked, but it's not coming up. So we'll move away from that. All right. Super chats. That's right. I'm tired and sick, guys. So just, expect stuff. The Book of Grudges for 1999. I'm in the US military and Trump's policies are already being enacted. Got an email from our CO here in Hawaii that all DEI related programs were to be dismantled within the next 10 days.
Winning. I'm not getting sick of the winning.
It has been awesome. He has followed through on so many of his policy commitments. All right. And it's just like, you rarely do you see a politician be that on the ball with what, like, more often than not.
And he gave a speech at the WEF and just was unapologetically, we're doing everything for America. We're going to be better than everybody. If you want to get on board, you can help. It's like unapologetically, he ain't kissing anyone's ass on this planet.
Not this time around.
Nope.
I really found delight in watching him dance around with a sword. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. I retweeted that and said I approved that message. Absolutely. 100%.
All right, raise your hand if you have cut a birthday cake with a sword.
I have.
No. I can go one up. Wow. I cut a wedding cake, my wedding cake, with a sword. Boom.
Very nice.
I have the pictures for proof, of course. So there's been people have been trying to cross the border and they can't use passports that have not specific genders on them. Like if their gender is listed as X or something like that, because the US policy now, it's only 2 genders, must be male or female. And that's actually more important than people realize, because having the correct gender on your ID is very important for police and identity, and also medical stuff that might arise if you're in an accident and things. Having the biological, sex listed is really important. And the fact that they'll try
especially
to take
for prison.
Oh, hell yeah, right? And the fact they'll try and take that off, it just causes so many problems. And so it's not like it's just to own the woke, activists. There is very legitimate practical reason why that policy needs to be put in place. The US now will only recognize 2 genders, solves a lot of issues. And so that's already in place. That's being done right now. And I've been watching Twitter, like the criminals getting deported. It has been beautiful to see. I have a clip or
glorious.
2.
Video after video of hospital waiting rooms being completely empty. Home Depots are empty. All these places where you're usually certain category of person is.
They are complaining about who's going to pick your crops and clean your toilets. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I see why you want to.
Exactly. Mask off what they really think about.
Yeah, right. There was a video also of a guy who said we have a 78 person construction crew and only 14 guys showed up. Something like that. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's they're showing the construction area and nobody's there.
Time to hire some Americans, I guess.
Yeah, you might have to hire some. Exactly. It's those are good paying jobs. Why are you?
Those other guys were getting exploited. That's kind of what happens when you're undocumented. You get exploited and you work to the bone for no money. That's kind of what happens. So the idea, these
guys like that.
Oh yeah, they love it.
It rhymes with grave raber.
Hey, is my audio still good? Because it disconnected. There, it's still sounding. It's still
there we
on.
Go.
Right, cool. It's been really interesting to watch, and I've also found it interesting some of the reactions. There is a clip of Selena Gomez.
Oh, that was hilarious because she had to delete that.
she deleted.
Did she? That's funny.
Yeah, because her fans revolted against her. What the hell are you doing? And she had to delete it.
And so this is her, and this is the. What would you call him now? He's the border czar. Is the deportation?
Yeah, the border czar.
And so because we're on the topic, we'll talk a little bit about this. Now, I'm not meaning to make fun of someone's genuine, distress or anything like that. I think she's very off the mark because she's basically crying that her people, Mexicans, are just being deported. It's like, no. If they're not all of them are here illegally, every Mexican who is there in the country legally or as a citizen, not a problem at all. And beyond that, they're not just specifically targeting illegals at the moment. it's the criminals, and he says that. Like, listen to what he says.
Muted.
It's muted.
Playing? Can you hear that?
Nope.
I think it's muted or something.
Hang on, I need to reshare it. I shared it with the audio, so hold up, we'll get there. Stop screen sharing. Okay, present. I did this already, but maybe it just so entire screen. I want the audio. Share. All right, can you hear it now?
The Hollywood celebrity.
There he is.
I don't know if you've had a chance to see a video that has been going viral over the past hour or so. We're still working to clear it and show it. In fact, the Hollywood celebrity who posted it has now deleted it. I think because probably she faced a lot of backlash for it, noting even the New York Times and Fox News polls show that a majority of American respondents are in favor of deportations of criminals and gang members. She posted a video sobbing. She was crying in it. She said, "All my people are getting attacked."
And like, it's not all your. It's like. But listen to what he says.
Oh, yeah? Was she born in Mexico?
Yes, right.
Flag. Again, she has now taken that down. But what do you say to those who are out there saying that these are everyday people, these are families that are being attacked and dragged out of their homes? How do you respond to that?
I don't think we arrested any families. We've arrested public safety threats and national security threats, bottom line.
And there are videos of some of these criminals getting deported. And one guy is like, I forget what crime it is, but Lotus Eaters did a video on him where he's saying F Trump out, all this stuff. And he's like a full-blown violent criminal, right? And
a long laundry list of horrible crimes.
And Carl was just saying that should be one of their like primary, promotional things where, career criminals hate Trump. And
but he was also thanking Biden and Obama too. Which better propaganda. You see, career criminals illegal criminals with long lists, the litany of horrible crimes. They hate Trump and love Obama and Biden.
Yep. Isn't that interesting? Why would that be the case? Why would horrible criminals hate Trump and love Biden?
It was the guy from Haiti. Now, if you remember the whole story from Haiti, where the long time ago, way back in history, Trump had to said the whole I think garbage country or shithole country.
I remember.
And so every celebrity in Hollywood had to rally around Haiti to defend its honor. And what's his Conan O'Brien like took a trip to Haiti and he's like had a picture of himself in the water.
Yeah,
Haiti's so beautiful, and that came back to haunt them because like, oh, what's wrong with him back to Haiti? I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic.
Then there were clips that like of cannibal gangs eating people from Haiti. They're not long after.
No, Shad. Haiti's great. And you see Conan O'Brien in his little suit floating around the water with a drink.
It was freaking hilarious about the Haiti thing. I don't know if I mentioned on this show before, but there was a video of a guy. It was the dude. He's from America. His cousin, who's from Haiti, doesn't even speak English, and then another cousin of his who is from Haiti but has been here for a while. So they're all like Haitian. He's asking the guy that just got here from Haiti. He's like, so what's the deal with the cats? So do Haitians eat cats? And they're like, yeah, totally. We eat cats. You can go to the AM/PM and, they're right next to the chicken wings. You just go get cats. And he's like, so why are the Haitians getting so mad about what Donald Trump said? And the Haitian got all irate. And he's like, we don't eat dogs.
Not every eat people. Come on,
that's funny.
We would never lower ourselves to eating dogs. Okay, we are a higher class.
They have standards.
But look, we eat people. All right.
I do like. Well, people, of course, draw the line. I kind of like Royce's. Miss Royce, he needs to come back. Stands where he's willing to eat anything. If it tastes good. And it's nutritious and it's not human, of course. But all right, so yeah, it's like they haven't deported any families, they're saying.
And look, President Trump won the election on this one issue, securing our border and saving lives. What happened on our southern border last 4 years is the biggest national security threat this country's seen, at least in my lifetime, because we got over 2 million known gotaways. We got a 600% increase in sex trafficking. We got a record number of terrorists crossing the border on the terrorist watch list. We have 250,000 Americans dying from fentanyl coming across the open border. We're going to do this job, and we're going to enforce the laws of this country. If they don't like it, then go to Congress and change the law. We're going to do this operational apology. We're going to make our community safer. We're going to save. Once we lock that border on continuous operation, you're going to see fentanyl deaths decrease, illegal alien crime decrease, sex trafficking decrease. It's just all for the good of this nation, and we're going to keep going. No apologies. We're moving forward.
Dude, the sex trafficking is
So
wild.
based.
Yeah, and man, so what was the thing where the cartels and gangs were listed as terrorist organizations, which is now going to allow the military to come in and, you know, take care of business? Because there was a report this morning that one of the border patrol, you know, were getting shot at, and they assume that it's possibly from one of these cartel gangs. And so it's like, all right, if they're wanting to push that, yeah, it's like, sorry, just going to reply. So that has been interesting. And of course, as like, I just find it very intriguing that they just, it's like, it's all Mexicans. It's not targeting Mexicans. It's targeting illegal immigrants, regardless of where they're from.
Yeah, the guy from Haiti wasn't a Mexican. He's from Haiti. He's Haitian.
Yeah, but the Democrats, they're all Mexicans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some Mexicans would take issue with that if you call like a guy from like Cuba or Honduras or something Mexican. I don't think they'll like that.
No.
We got clean your toilets. Book of Grudges 499 says there's a reason Superman is always depicted flying with his fist out front to break the wind. It looks goofy otherwise. I'm happy with either. I think Superman is, you know, invulnerable enough to take some wind in the face, but I also like that with, you know, fist forward, doing the pose. So case by case, but I can understand why you like it. Buddy Rap $5 says, but Shad, you didn't read the comics. How can you possibly be a good source of Superman lore? Because if you don't read the comics, the arbitrary standard, you can't possibly be a Superman fan. You haven't read all the comics, which is an arbitrary, stupid standard that idiots make as an argument to try and dismiss, you know, logical reasoning and arguments that they don't want to engage in. If people see my recent video replying to a moron who tried to attack me, you will know the reference to that because he was absolutely full of crap and didn't even engage with a single one of my actual arguments. It was just straw man constantly. And that was one of the tactics he used. Oh, you didn't read the comics. Yeah, but you
that works for something like Guardians of the Galaxy or something, but Superman has been a pop culture icon in every form of media since the 50s.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I grew up on Superman, right?
Yeah.
He was
most people who are Superman fans have never read a comic book.
I've read a couple, but not all of them, right? But man, I remember as a kid watching the old classics where this looks like a job for Superman. And, you know, he would go into the phone booth and change. You know, those actually have some impressive animation, those old school Superman ones. And his power level in those old cartoons is pretty damn high. He does some full-on stuff in those. And they're good. They're actually, I kind of want to
They had a gold cartoon show. They had a TV show, radio drama, and
what are they called?
Everything.
Are they public domain now?
I can't name a form of media that Superman was not in.
Yeah, it's like something about.
They probably had a play.
Shakespearean play.
Because they are also available on YouTube. These,
I think
right?
for free. Yeah,
for free. Like I've just literally looked them up now. These cartoons are absolutely great. I love them.
Yeah, was it Fritz Lang? Is that the animator?
Like, check some of this stuff out. Now, I hope it's public domain because we could get pinged for copyright. This, right? But some of this stuff is just so classic, man.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And there's that classic S right there.
Oh, yeah. This is...
To best be in a position to use his amazing powers in a never-ending battle for true justice, Superman has assumed the skies of Clark Kent.
Oh, man, I grew up with this stuff. I want to get to one of the parts where he's just kicking butt as Superman.
It's the one against the Death Ray.
The Death Ray. Actually, check some of this out. This is just so good. And the animation is actually really good.
Oh, yeah.
Look how smooth it is.
Back when we had proper shows.
Proper shows, right?
Back when they're doing 24 frames a second.
So, like this tune, this is
I just wanna
actually
point out
a.
that's not how buildings work, but that's fine.
I know, and
It's like bending over you.
This is one of the most iconic classic Superman tunes for me, right? Because I grew up with it. And before the Superman film tune, like
It's kind of like Popeye logic.
a little bit, you know, like pulling
sure
it
this
back
will
in
work.
the other direction. I love it. I love it. And so
This is
he
a rubber
goes
building.
taking on the death ray.
Like I think he starts punching it, doesn't he? Like he starts punching the ray.
I think so. I think he does. Yeah.
And then he starts punching the
Starts
ray.
punching.
It's the most Chad thing ever.
I love it, dude.
This is how superhero stuff should be. It's a little bit goofy, but it's also fun.
It's so good. And so he ramps up the power. To me, this still holds up. This is
It's
just
still good. I love it. There he goes. Just punching the ray.
punches the
Who says Superman can't punch anything? I mean, he can
exactly.
punch a death beam. This is great.
Oh, it's good. And I got, powered up. There's one like what? He plugs a volcano at one point. There's Lois Lane, classic damsel in distress, needing to be saved. And he just paints it. This is friggin' Superman. And this is what I kind of mean about, because one of the discussions that Superman has to be shown he struggles is like, they do show him struggling, but they also show that he's just that powerful and he's just tanking it. And as a kid, this was such a buzz for me. I'd be there watching like, hell yeah, you can't
Come on, get him, Superman, get him. It's
And-
like watching a sports team run down the field. Like, go, do it, go. It's like that.
I love it. And so into this as a kid, man.
If this was like Captain Marvel or something, she'd be like just taking it and just easily destroying it.
And then it destroys. So good. So those cartoons, of course, and then there was the TV show Superboy and the movies. Man, watched those so many times. So yeah, I grew up on Superman. Loved it from a very young age. But if you haven't read all the comics, everything you say can just then be. And what was funny, right? The guy even says that I don't like gatekeeping. I don't think you have to, and then he goes and does exactly, the opposite of what he was saying later on. So, but yes, you're right, Buddy Rabbit. And then Buddy Rabbit again for $5. Free Ren pulling that hard. A charisma meta, skill check, natural 20, your cringe, word of power, and they just die. No Free Ren. So Free Ren is another great example of a super OP character done right. She is crazy powerful. And that's what makes it so fun, is when they're in the dungeon and they have to face the doppelgangers of all themselves. And one of the doppelgangers is her, and it is as powerful as her. And so they have to figure out a way for her to defeat herself. And she isn't even sure she can do it. She has to get Fern's help to do it. And so it's brilliant. You can absolutely have crazy, overpowered characters. And why Free Ren isn't a Mary Sue? She has flaws. Yeah, and it's actually similar to those episodes that it comes out where she has blind spots in her magic. She fails. And she has, blind spots in terms of mimics and
she has to check every chest. She has that gamer thing.
Every chest. And everyone's like, it's clearly a mimic, but it might not be. It could be a grimoire in it. And yeah. Fun
It even says like it even had the checking thing that checks as a mimic. It's like, oh, that's only 98% accurate.
Yes, but that means there's a 1% it might not, she says. Great stuff. Actually, great stuff. Seth William for $10 says, got out of work an hour and a half late, but I'm just in time to see my favorite Crusade live. You guys made this Monday night awesome again. Legend. Thank you, Seth Whitback. Sorry if I mispronounced your name before. Awesome. Sin for $2 says, prisoners equal free labor.
We
were talking about the slave labor thing.
Slave labor. Gary talked about some of the work he did when he was in prison, and he said it was actually great for him. He loved it. And people were saying, "Oh, it's so inhumane because they don't get paid." And Gary was like, "Stuff that." It was awesome. Let him get out a bit and everything, and it was good for him. Vulture 1066 for 20 NOK says, we had 1 year military service for all males age 18. Where is that referring to? Because there's a couple of countries that kind of do
NOK. That North Korea.
in South Korea they have mandatory military service, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Israel too.
It'd be kind of interesting if we had that, and then all the young men have to go into mandatory discipline sessions or we join the military for a while.
I actually think that would be good for a lot of young men. They need that discipline. They need,
especially these days.
Yeah. For me, my missionary service was that, where you go into a very regimented, disciplined thing for 2 years, and you follow a strict schedule, and you learn how to deal with abuse. You got to grow up and be a man and stand up for your values and what you believe in. Missionary service was brilliant. It made me who I am today, as well as other pivotal points in my life. But I actually think young men kind of need that. It's funny how tribal societies even understood that, where they had the kind of what do they call it? The passage for manhood, trial for manhood, or test
rites
for
of
that
passage.
Rites of passage, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Where they have to perhaps go out into the wilderness and hunt, a tiger or something.
The
like
Agogi
that,
from 300.
And when they would come back victorious, they would be celebrated as a man, right?
There was my favorite one is like when I think this tribe in Brazil would have all the young men put their hands in these gloves made of fire or bullet ants.
Yeah,
and they have to keep them in there for a few minutes, and they have to do that like several times. It could take as long as you want, but you're not considered a man until you finish it.
An Australian presenter tried that, and he ended up in hospital. He was in so much pain. I forget his name, but
he'll never be a man in that tribe.
He'll never be a man in that tribe. Oh, well, he's a journalist, so that makes sense.
Oh, he wasn't well, he started out as a radio commentator, and I forget his name, but he's a funny enough guy, actually. And yeah, he tried that because they had a series where they do this global trekking thing, and he tried. Hamish and Andy, that's the one. Yes, Hamish and Andy, thank you.
Well, I guess you should had a few practice hits first, like just get bit by a bullet ant a few times, get used to it, and then dive into the glove.
Yeah, it was Hamish. He's actually a funny enough guy. And he tried that, and he usually puts on a show for these dumb things he does. This time he was not a show. He was like fully sincere in complete agony. He could not hack it. Those bull ants are no friggin' joke. But what the point, back to the point, is that rites of passage, I actually think young men need that. They do mature at a later age than women, and they kind of need a bit of a kick up their pants and to really get them to wake up and mature. And I think a lot of society in Western society kind of missing that, where we see a lot of young guys just staying in a type of adolescence well into their 20s and 30s, where they don't take on responsibility and shape up. And they guys need to, get a job, be proactive. And it's related to a lot of issues happening in society overall, with guys not getting in relationships and checking out of society, the loneliness epidemic they're talking about.
And a lot of it, this isn't particularly new though, because I noticed that even when I was young and going through my 20s, like there's this thing that I talked to, and most people recognize this. I don't know how it is in Australia, but it's like if you're not married by the time you're 25, there's this decade gap, and then people start getting married after like 35. So like some people fall between that, but it's like I noticed that with my friends group, and I notice it even now today watching like kids grow up and stuff. It's like there's this freaking weird desert of 25 to 35. It seems like, I don't know how many math on this, but I don't know. So it's like, I noticed it 30 years ago, and now I'm noticing it again as my children age and grow up, get married, and made me a grandfather for the first time.
I heard, dude. Congratulations. That's friggin' fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So what you're saying is that you think there's like, if they don't do it at a certain thing, it takes them 8
Yeah,
years.
like there's certain, I don't know, maybe it's the way they're raised, or if they're in church. I don't know. I know a lot of people, and more people in church tend to get married before they're 25, at least from what I've noticed. And then there's just this chasm. It's like, if your friend, they'll just go in and out of relationships, and then when they're around 35 or more, they're like, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet on one of these people.
I was raised with the primary, most important thing, is marriage. Right? When you grow up, and after your missionary service, next thing, marriage. And that's exactly what my goal was. I was served a 2-year mission for my church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Came back, time to get married. That was the focus. And when you do it with intent, and you know who you're looking for, man, it sets you up for just a life of fulfillment and happiness. My wife and children are just my whole world, right? Mm-hmm. And it gives purpose to everything I do. My heart breaks for people that don't understand it, and also don't want it, or are missing out because they weren't raised with that simple direction. It's a goal that needs to be instilled.
And just to piggyback on what you're saying, is giving purpose not just to what you do, but it gives purpose to what you want to do for the future, because now you have a lineage that you don't want to see your grandchildren grow up in a freaking communist world, right? You want to do things that are going to help shape the world in a way that it'll be a good place for them to live, instead of just being selfish and it's like, well, I'm going to burn out at some point, and then it's all just dust.
Unfortunately, right? Missing out on that direction. But you're right. Like, when you have children, you suddenly become invested in the future, because it's not about just let live right now and having a great time, which a lot of people without children are just like, not having children is great. Look at me. I get to party, and it's all about hedonism and self-gratification. Where suddenly when you have children, you start to think about the future a lot more, where the immediate pleasure isn't nearly as important as laying a foundation to make a better world for them, to support them, and to try and make a world that they can live in peace and prosperity as well.
I just saw, I didn't actually click on it, but I saw the words on the video. It's about a guy who it just dawned on him, because he had lived this kind of I don't care, I don't want to get married, it just dawned on him that he was the last person in his family. Like, everybody else had died. He was like the last one, and it's like, there's nobody left.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that heartbreaking when people at the end of their lives, they realize they've made terrible decisions? And we kind of laugh at the lonely feminists that's, end up realizing that they have nothing in their lives, no family, no children. All they have is some cats, and, getting that career job, go get it, girl. Everything ultimately amounted to nothing. And they become lonely, miserable, and depressed. And that is heartbreaking. That's really sad. They were fed a lie. They did feed into the lie, a lot of them, and then promoted as like, I'm a girl boss, got a job, career, I got all the money and stuff, I don't need no man. And they end up horribly depressed, and they can't change it then. One of the tragic things about the situation is that women do have a biological clock that is ticking. And if they miss that, time in their life where they could have had children, it's done. Men are a bit different, because men are able to father a family well into their later years.
Yeah, Tony Randall had a kid when he was 81.
Right.
He couldn't pick him up, but
Right. And so, women get fed a lie, and it robs them of some real important happiness and purpose in their life. Breaks my heart a bit, actually. Okay, so we had, that was the 1 year military. Buddy Rabbit says, Mike, I'm sliding into your DMs. I think Mike did get the DMs. And we got Nathan Cassidy for $4.99 says, was she saying that all Mexicans are gangsters? It kind of sounded like what was she saying? Talk about unintentional racial profiling. Lol. Yeah. yeah, like the whole thing when people are saying Trump just hates Mexicans, like what's funny is that Mexicans have responded to some of these tweets saying, not all of us are illegal immigrants, you freaking racist. Like, stop.
Yeah, I responded to one. I was like, this guy said, oh, they got rid of the Spanish version of the the White House website. I was like, I could speak English, asshole.
Vulture 1066 for 20. And okay, it says Norway, the military service. So is it talk about Norway? There we go. In terms of mandatory military service, I kind of think it might do some young men some good. Like, I'm not against it, honestly. I don't like what I'm against is forcing young men into useless, pointless wars. Like, if I was in Russia, right, with this retarded war going on in Ukraine, man, and they wanted to force my sons into that stupid war, I'd try and hide them away. I don't know what I would do in that situation apart from trying to say that, because I'm not saying I want young men to go off and die in retarded wars. I'm saying having the structure of military kind of regiment. And so if they just went off and trained and prepared and learned and everything, that type of service, yeah. Not to go and die for nothing. That would be, gosh. Don't know what I do, because I've got 4 sons, right? And I think about what happened in World War II, where, you know, there were parents that would see many of their sons just go off and die. And then the whole film, the premise of Saving Private Ryan is based around that, you know, this poor mother lost all her sons and there was one left that they went to try and save. Oh, man. Anyway.
There's also that's also Kingsman, where a bunch of wealthy men had money but no sons because they lost them all during World War I. And so they made the Kingsman.
Oh, see, I haven't watched the origin of Kingsman. I heard it's actually all right, that origin film.
I like the fight with Rasputin. It's like the best part of the movie. That was an awesome part of the movie.
I gotta watch that again. I don't remember.
Ballet fight. It was pretty good.
So people have been memeing on Selena Gomez. She's unrecognizable. I do not recognize her as Selena Gomez, but I don't really remember, I guess, what she looks like too much. But when you see her crying, do you recognize that as Selena Gomez? I was like, is it?
Not at all. I guess back then she had like heavy makeup too. Like she had like a unique makeup style.
Yeah. But
her hand is huge. Is it my
is that angle of camera? I don't know. But look, people are having fun with it. They're memeing on her a bit. Let's kick it. I got to be careful of that music. That'll get us pinged for copyright. So it's just people like
that. Baron Trump was way too short, though.
What was
the Baron Trump? It was Melania and Donald and Baron.
That guy is so tall.
I know, he's like 6'8".
So tall.
He's wait till next year to see how tall he is.
I know. He's not done. He's the same age as Isaac, my son, 18.
He's gonna be like 8, 9, 10 feet tall by the time
he's
You'd have to think he
must rename him Goliath.
He must have stopped growing at this point. It's interesting how popular Baron Trump is becoming, and people don't even know what his real voice is. Has he ever spoken publicly?
Well, he only whispers in his father's ear.
They say he was one of the ones telling Trump to like go on podcasts and things.
My wife is like listening to that Ingersoll whatever book, the Baron Trump book, and I was like, I always thought this thing was, there's no way it could be real, but it's like in the Library of Congress, and like first editions of this thing sell for like $9,000. It's a real book. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. What's this?
It's like The Adventures of Baron Trump or something. It was written in 1896, and it's about like the last president. And it like starts with like an ocean liner hitting a iceberg, like, and it was written like 20 years before the Titanic. And it's like all this weird, and people are like speculating that like Baron Trump's a time traveler, went back in time and like wrote. It's like weird.
He knows everything.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of it is like, I mean, this is in the 19th century, and they're talking about how socialism is like taking over the country and stuff like that. I'm like,
what? This is crazy.
Weird.
I've not heard this.
That's why for the longest time I was like, this is not real. And then I went and I researched it. I'm like, how is this real?
That's so cool.
It is.
I love that. Like,
What
I
if, what
did
if Trump
see
saw that and said, "Okay, my son will be named Baron Trump"?
Yeah. That was a
Probably
book
like
he
a
got
YouTube
as a
video.
kid. He's like,
This is a good name for my son.
So,
He'll be
did
the
you
last
guys see the
president.
tweet that Elon Musk did a tweet where there's this book about people going to Mars and there's like a thing where it says they will call their leaders Elon and it was like, no, this can't be real. And someone has an image and it's like, I think it's like a Russian book or something in another language. Someone found the original manuscript and sure enough, Elon is right there. That the people go to Mars will call their leaders after Elon. And it's just like, what's going
Ingersoll
on there?
Lockwood. Thank you, Russ.
Well, I guess it's not as crazy if you are of a religious-minded person, because I do believe in the gift of prophecy and that many things have been prophesied and foretold before they happen. And sometimes people who are not necessarily prophets do have the gift of prophecy.
Yeah, and this author was a Christian, because I was looking up his other books in the Library of Congress, and he did like translations of like the works of Saul or something like that. He did other Christian books. I already closed all that stuff, so I don't know what it is. But
I mean,
yeah, it's interesting.
Was it Nostradamus, the guy who also like?
Yeah, I checked his. None of his. The only one thing he had ever really kind of hit the mark.
But it's interesting because even in the Bible, there talks about prophets that were not aligned with the children of Israel that did actually prophesy a couple of things as well. And so some of this stuff, like if you are religiously minded, there is an explanation that, falls in line with how I understand the world to work. But if not, yeah, it's wild, wild stuff. You know what's like something that
I should make that into a comic book. I'm just gonna
on the topic, just on the topic of things that don't throw or confuse religious people too much, but science have a lot of trouble explaining. Near-death experiences where people's souls leave their body. The accounts, and there's so many of them. The accounts of this stuff happening is wild.
That was literally the crack in the door that led me from agnosticism to faith.
Really?
Because it's like you can't. That crap's real.
They're real, and science can't explain.
Yeah.
Like I read an account of someone who was in hospital on their deathbed. They were asleep. And they saw themselves leave their body, go outside their room, look down the hallway, see things, then wake up, and they describe exactly what's outside in the hallway perfectly.
Oh, they had people go hear conversations in the other end of the freaking hospital, right? And come back. Yeah.
And these people aren't bullcrapping. They're genuine, honest people sharing real experiences that they've had. And I'm not saying all of them. There's probably a couple of bullcrap ones in there, but the amount, and then you have witnesses that confirm it. It's just like,
I like the guy who died, went to hell, came back and became a pastor. That's funny.
So, going on to one of our next topics. Okay. Have you guys followed any of the Brett Cooper stuff with her leaving the Daily Wire?
No,
not really. I do know about it, but
do
I
you
don't know
about
the details.
Sometimes I'm a bit of a gossip goblin where I just want to, is there some drama? Okay,
that's okay. I'm addicted to internet drama, so that's my thing.
Well, that's what I mean. I know it's not good. I know it's like content, but sometimes you just find it interesting. And I'm not the Daily Wire is a complicated kind of topic sometimes because I think they do good work. But then you have comments like what Matt Walsh says about anime and things like that, and we'll probably get to some of that as well because he's saying that they were jokes. So we'll see. We'll talk about Matt's comments.
Like if you watch anime, you're fat, bald, and obese or something.
Yeah, those ones. But it speaks to a larger issue in the culture war and the culture crusade, right?
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't think the Daily Wire can talk yet because the counter to anime would be to be making good stuff here in the West. And I've seen some of the Daily Wire stuff they've been producing. Not really measuring up, we'll say.
We have just talked a sizable amount of an anime we love that has some actual complexity to it, really good characterization and depth to it that the left hates because it has based elements where it's just fun fantasy and things. Free Rien and So the fact that certain conservatives just write off anime and pop culture is such stupid stuff. We'll talk more about it. Let's go back.
Yeah, but you know what? Calling it all that stuff is fantastic for engagement farming.
Engagement farming. Yeah. But first, the Brett Cooper stuff. Okay. She's announced that she is coming back, which we all kind of knew. It's broken internet a little bit. I think the video already, her announcement video has 500,000 views on it already. First video on her channel. And
Coming back to what?
YouTube, making content after leaving the Daily Wire.
Right.
So I have followed the Brett Cooper stuff, watching kind of everyone talk about it. This is her trailer, and she captures some of the comment. Heaps of people have been talking about this. So let's watch some of the beginning of it. If my
You're not watching something, are you? Because we're not.
Oh, I'm sick, all right, and retarded. It's a bad combination.
Is it planned silence? Is it a dramatic silence or something?
I'm sick, okay?
It's what we call a pregnant pause.
Oh my gosh.
Every pause is pregnant around Donald Trump.
Sick and being retarded. It's a bad combination. Okay, this is what I was watching. Here you go.
After weeks of speculation, Brett Cooper has left.
Well, it looks like the rumors were true.
Brett Cooper's departure has caused quite a stir.
The internet is absolutely melting down.
Brett Cooper did, in fact, announce her exit.
Brett Cooper announces.
So this was huge news, and I think it was so big because I kind of think she was probably the biggest star at the Daily Wire at the time, getting more views than Ben Shapiro. She has an authenticity about her that people really like, and I think she also
Ben Shapiro.
She looks like Ben Shapiro, but I also think, like, look, you can't tell me she has not profited off of what I would call female privilege. She's easy on the eyes, and that attracts heaps of guys. Like if you're an attractive woman on the internet, you almost have a free pass. Like, not in every instance, but so many girls just can like make vapid content and sail off the fact that they're good looking and get heaps of, viewers and stuff. But Brett actually makes substantive videos, it seems like, and she's authentic. And so that kind of has a compounding effect where she was pretty well set to blow up online. Now, as to how much might have been boosted by Daily Wire promoting their talent because they pay for advertisements and things like that, I don't know. I'm sure it's contributed, but her channel was pretty darn big. And then she left, and people were like, what?
Yeah, didn't her Daily Wire channel had like 4 million subs or something, right?
Yep. Now, it's also got juicy controversy and gossip all entwined with it, with potential friends backstabbing friends and not following anymore, and comeuppance and all that stuff. And so much of this story just is like catnip for people who love drama, because there's stuff that's fully all involved with people coming out and making comments saying, no, this isn't true, and condemning, and then other people coming out and stop being mean to Reagan, who took over the show after her. And then the CEO, Jeremy Boring, came out with this kind of poorly made defense video, kind of throwing Brett under the bus a little bit, trying to defend Reagan, save the show that is just in free fall. It's got layers to this stuff that's been going on. And I've just been enjoying watching. It's not because I want anyone to fail or anything like that, but I have found it interesting. Interestingly enough, the comment section, I think it might have been the editor that did this. I'm not sure Brett knows who we are, but a Night's Watch clip did appear in one of the comment section's videos.
Really?
Yeah. It's when they're talking about why are so many men thinking of Rome. And let me see, because I tweeted about it actually. So let me see if I can look it up on my my thing. I need to search my own Twitter feed to do this. But that she was talking about Rome. So if I do Night's Watch Brett, see what comes up. It's not coming up. I need to do search. How do you do like a search just on your own feed? It's like
you type in your name at Shadows or whatever, and then space, and then whatever word you're looking for.
University, Shadow University, and then let's see. Still not coming up. I need chat. You guys can help. Anyway, it'll take too long. But yeah, it's just a little video clip from me on Night's Watch going friggin' based, and an editor put it into something that she said about men liking Rome. So I don't know if she knows who we are or not, but I thought that was kind of funny. It's like, hey, I appeared. There we go. That's me. And I think she's always been mostly authentic, from what I know. And then her leaving, that threw people off a bit because she was such a big star at the Daily Wire. And first there was a rumor, this was actually, someone got the scoop. There's a leaker in the Daily Wire, and someone put this out on Twitter that rumor is Brett Cooper's leaving, and she's not getting along with, Jeremy Boring, CEO of Daily Wire. And I have to say, his nickname, this friggin' God King bullcrap, is one of the most retarded, narcissistic nicknames I think anyone could possibly ever give themselves, right? And it's I don't see it as self-deprecating or ironic or something like that. To me, like every time people call him that, I get annoyed. Also, like religiously annoyed, because I don't think calling anyone a God King like that,
I think it's probably like a Warhammer 40K thing.
Like, not unless you've earned it,
Not
anyone could just be a God King.
I hope I'm misjudging him, but
I
would never call him that, and that always rubs me the wrong way. And so I've got videos criticizing old Jeremy Boring. Yeah, it's when the Crowder stuff came out.
You know who his college roommate, one of his best friends is?
No, who's that? Zachary
Levi.
Okay, there we go. Zach seems like an all right dude, standing on principle. I respect old Zach. So Jeremy, he did like a defense video trying to defend his contract, and I did a deep dive analytical breakdown of it because I thought he was just friggin' full of crap. That contract was just arse, and the video is still here on Night's Watch. I thought his defense of it was very poor, and that's not me necessarily taking a dig at him personally, because I think he's done some decent stuff. And there's times where I've listened to him and it's like, all right, you seem like a level-headed enough guy in this instance. But it's not to say I agree with everything by any means. And so the fact that there's rumors of Brett and Jeremy clashing behind the scenes, I could believe it. Decent amount. He's denied it. They said that left, but when she announced his departure and then Jeremy comes in that video to say goodbye to her, it kind of looked like a hostage video. It felt very, very fake. Did you guys see that? Where he's like saying goodbye to Brett?
I don't think so.
No, I didn't look that good. And okay, so there's all of this happening, right? She leaves the Daily Wire, and then the producer on the show, Reagan, takes her position. And I'm not sure if anyone is up to I'm not chat. Have you guys followed any of this? Do you want me to kind of play out what's happened in the past to fill you in, catch you up to date on what's been going on with all this stuff, or you don't give a crap? Let me know in the chat. I can skip over.
Those are your two options.
Yeah.
Vote now.
I can skip over the preamble and explain the background. So Brando saying he wants me to go for it. Someone followed a bit because Reagan. Oh, look, people are saying, let us know. All right, I'm happy to fill you in. And the Rod, catch me, I'm not familiar with it. Because it is drama. So look at this. This is Twilight level drama to me. So I guess I'll be hearing about it either way.
Accurate.
So Reagan was best friends with Brett, and she was even like a maid of honor or something at Brett's wedding. So they were pretty close. And she becomes the new host of the comment section. And then Brett unfollows Reagan and the Daily Wire and Jeremy Boring. And people have been like trying to read it. What does that mean? Why would the best friend unfollow their best friend after she takes over the show? And speculation abounds with it. There is a bit of additional information because, like, I can't believe I follow this so much. I'm going through because
Shad, get into some real internet drama.
All right, Reagan's cousin,
premium internet drama, Shad.
I'm gonna get you a Gossip Girl shirt.
I know, right? I'm like, holy crap! I feel like a woman.
The rest of us are following like Nick Rekieta and stuff. So I mean, come on.
Let's not. That.
I've been following it because like Reagan's cousin dropped a video trying to defend Reagan, and what she was trying to the video has been taken down now, and people question how sincere it is because some of the talking points she said mimics the talking points that Jeremy Boring later did in his defense of Reagan, and so people are speculating that this was prompted by the Daily Wire that she released this. Like, the rabbit hole goes deep, guys. And in her defense video, she said this, that Brett was already thinking of leaving the Daily Wire. And they didn't say why. It still could be because she wasn't getting along with Jeremy Boring, which I could totally believe. And this is speculation. None of it has been proven. This is the whole thing about rumor, gossip, crap. All of this could be bullcrap. I'm just repeating the gossip I've heard. Doesn't mean it's true. But the rumor is that Brett was wanting to leave and do her own show, and that she was planning to leave with Reagan, and they were going to go off together to do their thing. And then when rumor or, word of Brett wanting to leave came to the Daily Wire, then they offered Reagan Brett's job. And Reagan, instead of, again, speculation, going with what she supposedly, possibly, maybe committed doing with Brett, she went to go with the Daily Wire because it paid more. And people are speculating that Brett saw that as a type of betrayal, that maybe Brett never would have been planning to leave the Daily Wire if Reagan was upfront and saying that she never was intending to go with her in the first place. And that could feel like a pretty big backstab. If you give up a big kind of, position, that this big job, prominent position, very successful channel at the Daily Wire, with the hope that your best friend is going to go with you and support you, and they turn around and say, I'm getting paid more. And that could feel like a pretty big betrayal.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is speculation. Okay. But what we do know is that she unfollowed Reagan, and there seems to be a rift between them as a result. People have gone so far to feel that Reagan manipulated Brett to leave, backstab her just to get the job. I don't know that's true. I don't know really anything about Reagan on a personal level. This is all kind of speculation, going into it. But people have not been happy on the comment section that Reagan has taken over. Have you seen the state of the channel, the comment section now? Oh, it's lost several 100,000 subscribers. It went from getting between 200 to 500,000 views a video, common to get like 1 million. And now it's getting between 20 and 40,000 views a video.
That's tanked.
Section. It has just plummeted. And what's working against it is something that I've spoken about recently on Shadiversity, why sword content is dying on YouTube because of the recent algorithm changes. Subscriberships on channels don't mean a thing. Like heaps of YouTube and I share the clips in my video on Shadiversity, the one that dropped last night, right? Heaps of clips saying subscribers are now a vanity metric. It actually means nothing. YouTube is not going to be pushing your videos to subscribers at all. Because I think Daily Wire they were relying on the fact that it has 4 million subscribers on the channel. So if they switched out the host, the recommendations will still go out to most of the people who have signed up on the channel. But that's not how YouTube works anymore. The thing that was keeping those viewers there was Brett. And look, Daily Wire might have managed this to switch out the host of the channel if it would have been done 3 years ago or 4 years ago, where subscribers actually meant something. Now, because subscribers mean spit, You're switching out the host on a channel with no guarantee now that those videos are going to be pushed or recommended to the algorithm who have subscribed. It's all sailing on Reagan's presence, and she is not proven. She's not made many videos. No one really knows her. No one cares to listen to her. And as a result, that's all that it has going for it. And the channel is just...
What's her name? Reagan what?
Reagan. Her name is Reagan, I believe.
Just Reagan?
I don't know her last name. Yeah.
Reagan Conrad Rohrback.
Yeah. And look, she's been getting roasted in her comment section on the YouTube channel, the comment section. And some of it is pretty vicious. People aren't holding back. This is the internet. I don't envy her position at all. She would have to just log off and not, because that is so much constant barrage of criticism coming her way. And I don't know if it's deserved or not. It might be, might not. There's too much speculation to really know on that front. But it is a bloodbath over there on that YouTube channel. Jeremy Boring recently, not too long ago, I mean, did a video trying to defend Reagan a bit. It didn't really come off well because he kind of was throwing some subtle digs at Brett at the same time, saying Reagan didn't take any acting lessons, but Brett did take acting lessons, and it felt a little bit of like cope as well. Some of the criticisms is like Daily Wire's handling of this whole situation. People are saying there was no chance in reality that you'd be able to replace Brett on this channel that was built around her personality with someone who only appeared occasionally, but people hadn't subscribed to watch. And I think that's largely true. If like the only way they could have managed to do it is if they had the, I guess the transition period longer. They would have needed Reagan to come in with Brett together for a long time. Because do you remember Mythbusters, how they brought in the second crew, right?
I remember that.
They managed it, but only because they kept, Jamie and Adam around constantly. If they just removed Jamie and Adam and brought in the new crew and it was a one fun switch, Chad, the show would have died. But because they had them both, we were able to get eased into the new crew on Mythbusters, the point where people became completely sold on them. It happened with a TV show here in Australia called Good Game. Started with two guy hosts. One of the guy hosts left. Girl came in as his replacement, but because one of the guys still remained there, her name was Hex. She became appreciated, and they managed the transition. It's not working at all. And the Stark kind of pull the plug switch over has not worked. And here's
it's a one-person show too, right? You can't.
Yeah.
If you've got different people, you can switch out and whatnot. But if it's a one-person show, you're just kind of, that's what you're riding on.
Because I'm such a gossip goblin on this, even Sydney Watson did a video yesterday on this that I've already watched. Following, I'm like, it's one of those topics that I've just been interested to follow. Okay. Stop it,
Shad.
I'm not a woman, I swear.
Shad's a woman.
I've just been following this constantly. And in Sydney Watson's follow-up, right, she points out, because in Jeremy's defense video, Jeremy was saying that we didn't give Reagan acting classes to mimic Brett because people have watched Reagan's mannerisms and it really comes off like she's copying Brett's mannerism, style of delivery and everything. And it creates a veneer of insincerity and fakeness, which is what people are really not liking about Reagan's performance. It feels like she's just copying. And then Jeremy
did Reagan have her own show or anything prior to this? Or
no, she was a producer that filled in for Brett a couple of times when Brett wasn't there. Like if she was sick or something.
That's a bad move. That's just up jumping.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Does not work.
Yeah.
If they started
Reagan was there because she had a big channel before she went there.
If they want to do this, they with Brett leaving, it's done. The channel's over. And they think that, it already has 4 million subscribers. Those subscribers mean nothing now. It's a vanity metric. And so they literally would have been just probably better off if they started a new channel with Reagan. Right?
Or
And-
they should have gone to YouTube and found somebody else who had already built their own channel and brought them back on.
Maybe if they already had somewhat of a following, that could potentially possibly have been a bit better, because the fact that they were best friends, he worked on them, and there's rumors of backstabbing, everything that makes it feel icky, and people were really ready to reject Reagan as a result. So Jeremy's explanation of why Reagan seems like Brett and mannerisms is that they were best friends. Best friends tend to, talk similar, the same, and stuff like that. And I'm like, not really. I've had a lot of friends and we don't end up synchronizing our mannerisms. And
yeah, but they're women. They might.
That's true.
Certain things do synchronize with women. This is true.
Yeah, they kind of synchronize with each other.
I'm not a woman. I don't know, even though I'm acting like one in this gossip crap. I don't. I like.
At least you're self-aware. You gotta appreciate.
Yeah, right. Do women synchronize their mannerisms? I don't think
they
so.
do. They do. If they spend enough time together, they do. Everybody, honestly, if you spend enough time together with somebody, you do leech mannerisms off of each other. So,
to an extent, to fully seem like you're mimicking them, though, don't know. But chat is all in agreement. Like they do, they're laying down the law with that. But Sydney, in her video, actually shared older clips of Reagan speaking, and she doesn't speak or act like she is in the comment section videos currently. And so her belief is that this is an intentional kind of mimicry going on, that it isn't just a natural thing. I mean, she shared some clips. Didn't seem like Reagan acted like that, but we don't know how old they are, and maybe she did start to. I don't know. I don't know. So all of this has been going on. And Brett has a YouTube channel with nothing on it, and it got like over 1 million subscribers without a single video. And now this video has dropped, okay? And do you want to guess how many views it's on now?
1 billion.
623,000 views.
Nice.
And the channel has 700,000 subscribers now. So that's also gone up a lot. I can show. So this is the video. This is her announcement. And it's not really a trailer. All it is people talking about Brett Cooper's left. Is she coming back? And then, look, it's a very well made kind of, camera work. Like if you see this. But doesn't really mean much. It's just she's setting up her set and then she smiles at the camera. And that's it. It's like, okay,
Man, her and Anna separated at birth.
Like a Psycho movie.
It could be. I was like, I don't know what that smells like. I'm going to kill you. It's like, it could be like revenge. That's what it is. It's like Daily Wire. That's what I'm seeing in this. It's like, get ready to regret what you did.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yep, stay tuned.
The Papa John's thing.
So I don't want to dwell on it too much. I could keep going. I've been following this too much.
Clearly.
And this was the thing that just dropped like yesterday. She's now going to put content. I don't think I've watched a single Brett Cooper video except parts of the ones that people let me know where I appeared in. So I've only seen clips here and there, and she seemed friendly and authentic enough. Seems like her career is just going to be fine. It's not a problem at all. Like huge positivity around that. Our security has a massive audience. And I feel a bit sorry for Reagan. There is something that is working against Reagan that I think is a bit mean to say, but I also think it's true, and not many people have said it. Do you know what do you think? What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't even think I know who she is. So I don't know. I know Brett Cooper. I don't think I know Reagan though.
Cooper,
She's the president.
And how do you spell her name? Ray Gunn. It's like Chris Ray Gunn. I want Brett Cooper versus Reagan. Not many images have come up. I'm not getting many. Because look, if you just look at them side by side, okay, you will notice that one of the things that Reagan is going to struggle, like, no, I don't want to say it's too mean. Too mean. Yeah. Like, look, part of, yeah. Oh, do people know what I'm referring to? Maybe not.
Hey, can you hear me?
Let's just say I don't think Reagan has as much natural charisma as Brett, and that impacts it a lot. I think a lot of people like Brett's delivery. They were attracted by the female privilege aspect of it as well. Yeah. Yeah, see, what are you saying there, Mike? What are you saying?
Can you not hear me? Can you hear me?
Now I can. What were you saying?
Oh, that's weird. I was saying she has an Instagram. Yeah, she's not. I mean, she's not ugly, but she's pretty mid.
Yeah. That's look. That's an unfortunate reality. That is an unfortunate reality that actually I think is playing into this a lot. Brett, I think, is sailing off of some natural advantages, I should say. That helps her out a bit. Guys don't get that. We rarely get it. We don't have that effect. Or the chat's kind of being a bit harsh. Buddy Rabbit, how could you say that? Okay, all right. Final topic for the day we're about to get to. I just want to make sure we're up to date on the super chats. So Bomb just for $2. Tom Homan is our watcher on the wall. Who's Tom Homan? Do we know this? I don't know.
Bordazar.
Oh, that's him. So I don't know his name. He's just the
His name's
base.
Bordazar.
Is the base deporter man. He's just getting rid of the criminals. Yeah, guy's pretty based. Buddy Rap $5 says, yeah, but you can get a tumbler that says liberal tears to own the libs. Take that, Chad. Now a word from our sponsors.
I have one. I got one of those.
I have one too.
The sponsor spam in Daily Wire videos are just comical. I think the funniest one I saw is when Ben is being so angry at Steven. It's the most despicable thing I've ever seen before. I can't believe he did that. Now, as for our sponsor, he like flips on a dime. It's like a switch. And it's like,
my favorite one was he was interviewing Gina Carano after her heartbreaking like firing and cancellation, and it says she's spilling her heart out to Ben Shapiro, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's cool. Anyway, our sponsor is something mattress or something.
It's funny, and it actually makes him come off as fake. Like he was so passionate and indignant, but then off like a switch. Here's our sponsor.
It kind of feels like they cut that in, like he did that beforehand, and they just splice it in when it's like they take a break, and so they do it in a way where it looks like he just turned to the camera, but it kind of feels like they did record them beforehand or something. I don't know.
I think it's so abrupt it feels like that, but that is actually him just flipping on a dime and doing the sponsor read, like because you can see the continuity in it. Maybe I did miss it. Mate, you could be right. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention.
I'm outraged. Anyway, our sponsor did
this. Our sponsor is this. It's funny. It's like, and yeah, oh man.
I took a segment of Ben Shapiro one time. He was doing one of those commercials. It was for waffles, the waffle iron maker, and I put it at 50% speed, and he comes off as completely drunk. It's hilarious. Waffles, our waffle.
Hey, Tomok for $10 says, "What's Shad's not a woman with his constant shilling for Twilight." No, you bastard, you got me.
It's a great argument.
Makes a very good argument, damn it. Hey, guys could like Twilight.
Can they though?
Yeah, yes, they can.
Twilight and internet gossip.
Look, I guess the truth is, I don't think I ever would have read the books or watched the rest of the movies if it wasn't for my wife. It is this thing that, if you have a woman close to you in life, they kind of draw you in. But I was able to enjoy it with my wife. We read the books together. That's how I
That's
read
the only
them.
reason I watch the movies, because my wife wanted.
Seems to be the thing. And there are things to enjoy in it. Okay. There are things to enjoy in it. That's just kind of my position on it. Le Chevalier de Lis, I think, for $5 says, if I may ask, I'm an atheist and still consider myself a lefty while I do have Catholic values. Why do I find myself agreeing a lot more the right? That is a good question, Le Chevalier.
Because you're not an idiot.
That's a good answer. You sound like a smart man there. Le Chevalier de Lis.
Le Chevalier.
Yeah, man. French is one of those languages. It's just one of the, that's what I'm saying. The French. They are the French. This is true. Deep, insightful conversations. Buddy Rabbit for $2 says, you mean guys? Okay. I'm going to say you definitely meant guys. Or you meant guys there. Buddy Rabbit can like Twilight. And yes, guys.
Gays can like Twilight.
I'm not sure they would too much. There's so much heteronormativity in Twilight that they might get a bit, ickified by these guys simping after a girl. It's not very gay, is it? I'm just saying. Twilight's, like, people call it gay. It's not actually that gay. It's very, very straight. It has masculine values in it.
I know that they go after a person who seems to be a woman.
It has a very strong anti-abortion message in it, Mike. You can appreciate that. I'm sure you can.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I want to see a crossover between Twilight and Blade. But Twilight has to obey Blade's universe rules.
Oh, that's bullcrap. Eric Sigrist for $5 says, I'm late in watching from beginning. What character from what show is Shad saying she has to open every chest? Freerin.
Yeah, it's Freerin, Beyond Journey's End.
Really good, actually. Well, I mean,
I like the fact that the one problem today is everything is about big moments. Like, they kind of sacrifice with the shows and movies to give you those big moments, and like they're obsessed with these big moments. Like that was really big during the Last Jedi era. Oh, the moment where he kills this person, or the moment where he faces off against Luke Skywalker, and Luke Skywalker dies of tiredness or something. And so it's all about the big moments, the fetishization of big moments, where Freeman takes the opposite. Like it's called Beyond Journey's End because the big moments are already done. Now it's a slow.
This is
smaller moments.
It's an interesting take where. Well, that
doesn't exist.
Freeran was part of the adventuring party that defeated the great evil demon king. And this is after the fact, after everyone in her party has died because she's immortal, and her kind of coming to terms with that and learning from those moments in her past, becoming a bit more connected with what it means to be a person. Because as an immortal elf, she's always lived kind of outside of normal, human experience. And it takes its time and explores that. I was a bit surprised at how slow it started, but it has some depth to it. And I was like, okay. And then when it does have some action moments, they friggin' rock, and it builds up beautifully. And it's built on the past that she's experienced with these demons. There's some
and there's what was it called? There was that one where they're traveling with the priest, goatee priest, and everyone's falling asleep. It's actually kind of scary because when you fall asleep, you can't wake back up. So everyone is going to sleep, and then Freeran goes to sleep. And it's all about the priest on his own because he can survive it because he's a holy man, horny holy man, but a horny holy man altogether. But the thing is, like, Freeran's like, okay, wake me up with your spell, and I'll defeat it. I promise. He's like, there's no way you could do that. There's just no way. Like, you can only stay awake for like 2 or 3 seconds. And so he wakes her up and boom, immediately destroys it. It's pretty awesome.
It was great. And the suspense was like, could he trust Freeran in what she said? How could she be able to do that? And he could only wake her up once. And good moments in it. And I have to say, I kind of like Fern. She's grown on me a lot. Stark is getting there. Stark is getting there a bit, but I like Fern, especially with how, like, picky and particular she is, and now she gets grumpy and stuff. There's just funny kind of moments with Fern, and that she has to be the responsible one, even though she was essentially raised by Freerin but now she's more responsible and mature.
Yeah, they kind of had that parallel going on there, where like Freeman is 1,000 years old, but when the priest is around, like everyone kind of like Fern and Stark kind of automatically defer to the priest, because even though he's like a fraction of Freeman's age, he's more of an adult than she is. He's like I think he's like 34 or something like that.
Something.
He's in his 30s. Like he's like an ancient old man in an anime. Like this kind of, ancient old. You're an ancient haggard old general when you're in your late 20s. I mean, he's like in his 30s though. So like he's an adult. And so like they kind of mentioned this though. They kind of keep mentioning this that they didn't go to Freerin for these troubles. They go to him. And then even Freerin goes to him and says, "Can you please arbitrate between Fern and Stark?" Because he's far more wise and more adult than she is.
Yeah. It's some good stuff. Buddy Rabbit $5 says, never underestimate a guy's intention to ruin everything. Shad, just look at Jeremy, a homosexual man. Jeremy doesn't ruin everything though. Jeremy often has some of the most correct opinions on FNT. That'll come and bite me in the ass. I love Jeremy. He's great.
That sounds gay.
It does a bit actually. Damn it. Le Chevalier de Lys for $2. Why, thank you. You are scholars and gentlemen. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you. So this is a good kind of, segue bit, because we got back on the Freerin topic, that there is some really sophisticated, well-written anime that's made for, a mature audience. This isn't like, flashy light slop where it's just like action thrown in front of your face. Freerin is an anime, a good example of something that takes its time and it's thoughtful and reflective. Okay. And people who are just like, oh, feed me slop, feed me action nonsense, right? They'll probably have a hard time enjoying it. But it goes to show you that to try and write off all anime is a retarded take. It's nonsense. Anime is not a genre. It's a medium with multiple genres in it. And there is crap anime. There is, stupid stuff. There's perverted, lewd stuff, of course. And there's brilliant stuff as well that has such great story in it. And so we come to like this thing where people on the conservative right tend to criticize pop culture and write it off too much. Now, I'm going to share what Matt said on this, because I have his tweet here. And so someone reported that conservative pundit Matt Walsh attacks anime again, says men who watch it are morbidly obese. Matt responds and says, I noticed that you posted a screenshot of a video rather than a clip, because if you posted the clip, it would be obvious that I was joking around and you're crying like a child over a joke. Where is the clip, Matt? I want to see the clip in context then, if that's your defense. And he doesn't post the clip. And I can't be asked going all the way to Daily Wire and digging out and then watching through an hour-worth thing to find this quote. But if he wanted to exonerate himself, he could have just shared the clip himself. Because here's the thing. I've seen the clip of where he calls anime satanic, and he claims that's a joke. I don't see nothing in that indicates it as a joke. Now, people say it's Matt Walsh's tendency to be completely deadpan. And he does do deadpan humor. My annoyance with that then is that usually when it's deadpan humor, it's irony. Like I saw the clips from his, movie, What is a Woman? You can tell when he's being deadpan and being sarcastic. It's pretty clear. It seems like I worry that he uses that as an excuse to just, excuse away dumb comments he says. Oh, it's just me doing my deadpan humor. It's a joke. And I have not heard him say the opposite, saying, no, of course, anime, it's got great stuff in it. He's never said anything like that. Not even close. Seems like only when anime, unless I have not seen it. Please, if he has legitimately said something like that, that has not crossed my feed, I would love to see it and hear his honest opinion on the matter. From what I have seen, it seems like whenever anime or pop culture related type of stuff comes up, it's always in the negative. I did a reaction to Matt Walsh when he tried to cover the Gamergate 2 stuff. He made a video on Gamergate 2, the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff. And his answer to solve the Gamergate 2 stuff was essentially stop playing video games. And it's
That's
like,
not going to happen.
that's not going to happen for one. But his video that he made had a lot of problems with it. And especially, it was like, it's saying, no one has been covering this, but they are now. When people have been covering like this Sweet Baby Inc. bullcrap, the woke infestation into video games for ages. And so it came off a little, narcissistic, where it was saying, now I'm covering it. It's probably getting, attention, the attention as it deserves. Buddy Rabbit has a super chat that actually is related to this topic. So I do want to grab that. But there's a couple of people actually commenting on this. So Phil Collins for 999 says, I don't know if this is mean or not. However, I believe the main problem with Brett's replacement is Brett looks like a college student where Reagan looks like the mum coming to visit her daughter. Possibly. Thank you for the super chat, Phil. Buddy Rabbit. When I heard was you love Jeremy. What I heard is that you love Jeremy. That's gay. Checkmate. Damn it. I did say that. He's got me. Okay, so this is the one that's related to. So Buddy Rabbit for 20 says, Old Steel Man. Someone else made the claim. It's not Matt's responsibility to substantiate someone else's negative claim. I get that point. He has nothing to exonerate in this situation because someone else is finger pointing. Okay. Maybe I'll take the time and try and dig it out. But the thing is, though, there is a track record with Matt in the past where I've looked at his previous comments on anime. Doesn't seem like a joke. Most of the times where I've seen him talk about this stuff, it's in the negative. When he covered video games, his takeaway was basically stop playing them. And so that kind of paints an overall picture that informs me as to the way he leans regarding this. And is not the only prominent conservative that's like this.
Did you see his children's book?
No. No,
like
does he have it?
A kid who pretends to be a walrus.
Okay. No, I haven't. I don't know.
It's like the ugliest freaking thing.
I should get you to
He hired someone off of Fiverr.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was bad.
Tomark for $10 says, I would love to see Matt watch Escaflowne and tell us how it's bad. Please, Matt, tell us. Dude, there's so many phenomenal anime. Like, there's Studio Ghibli stuff, Princess Mononoke, phenomenal. Spirited Away. Dude, then Cowboy Bebop, the animation, of course. Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin has such a phenomenal message of redemption in it. It is one of the best anime ever freaking made. And then you have even the recent stuff that's just good, lighthearted fun, of course. Spy X Family, love it. My Hero Academia is brilliant. We've been talking about Frieren. There's so many good stuff. And again, it's because anime is not a genre, it's a medium. So trying to say all anime is bad is a retarded take as saying all painting is bad or all music is bad. It's just a stupid thing to say. When, of course, there is crap in it that you would want to avoid, like the plague. But then there is really wholesome, uplifting, virtuous stuff that is genuinely is, it lifts you. It's inspiring. And so same with video games as well, of course. And this annoying thing that happens in some of these conservatives that appear, because there was also another recent comment or an old comment that resurfaced recently. I don't know where it falls into when he made it. The guy that owns Blaze, fellow member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as well. What's his name? Because I think I'm pretty sure it's Mormon. What's the guy that owns the Blaze?
Yeah, he's a Mormon. I can't remember his name.
Why
am I blanking?
Chat will know. Chat's probably already saying it.
Glenn Beck, not Ben.
Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck. Gosh.
Glenn Beck. Clearly, I agree with him on a lot of stuff. We're members of the same church, okay? But he's coming out with a comment recently, or it was an old comment recently, one or the other, where he said he would never let his daughter date a gamer. And I would like Glenn, what do you mean by gamer? Okay, because you're throwing everyone who plays kind of games or identifies a gamer under the bus there, mate. It's not, and by the way, antagonizing a whole community like that is just a recipe for disaster. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, if you're referring to you wouldn't let your daughter date a guy who is addicted to video games, plays them constantly, doesn't have a job or doing anything productive or anything like that, that's not a kind of disparagement against gamers. That's like a, you know, a young guy that doesn't have his life together. And if you're saying I wouldn't let my daughter date a young guy that doesn't have his life together, that would make sense. That's a far more fair thing to say. But saying just gamers generally, it makes me wonder, what do you think are gamers? Do you think all gamers are like that? Because if that's the case, that is just, whoa, you know, painting with such a massive broad brush, and you're throwing everyone who enjoys video games. Because look, I identify.
Like saying I wouldn't let my daughter date a guy that watches football.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing that I take issue with these conservatives that look down on many pop culture hobbies, whether it's playing video games, watching anime, collecting figurines, doing Warhammer, playing D&D,
watching Twilight.
Exactly. Watching Twilight and also collecting action figures and stuff like that. There is nothing different between someone who collects action figures and someone who collects stamps. In actual fact, I think collecting action figures is far more cool and based than collecting, because stamps are boring. So maybe there is a difference there. But there's a fundamental connection between those two hobbies, right? In terms of what they're doing. They're collecting something, okay? And I just get so frustrated with people when they are perfectly fine with people having hobbies in one area and then looking down on hobbies that are effectively equivalent. There's people who are totally obsessed with sports, collect all the memorabilia, watch every single game. It's their life, right? They don't get nearly as much flack as someone who collects merchandise of Star Trek or something like that. One is constantly belittled and looked down upon when the other is given a full pass, because those are just more mature pursuits. And the answer is been around longer, and also a lot of these people are probably into it. I wonder if Glenn Beck is into sports a lot and stuff. And so it comes off so damn hypocritical. And you end up alienating so many people in that community who would have your friggin' back in the culture in trying to uphold traditional good values. Gamers have been the most resistant to the woke infestation. This is the whole big, almost genesis of it in Gamergate 1, where they pushed back against the feminist narrative that they were trying to inject in games, take away, you know, traditional masculine kind of things that they like in games and stuff, male gaze bad and all that crap. And gamers pushed back against it. And the insane woke activists have had PTSD about it ever since, because they have tried so hard to conquer video games, right? And they think, you could almost say, not even think, you could almost say they succeeded in some fronts because they got infested through, you know, consulting companies, stuff like that. And they did get their woke crap injected into games. And you could say that's a success. But no, they failed, because when those woke games came out, they were wholesale rejected because they were just complete crap. Concord, Suicide Squad. I mean, gamers have been the ones to more strongly reject this woke crap than anyone else. And so to disparage gamers who are ready to fight this crap with you is one of the worst things you could do in terms of trying to win people over to the side that's pushing back against it.
Well, the gaming industry has the most power. I don't think it's centralized. Like, Hollywood is centralized. Like, everything from Hollywood can be woke or whatever. But like, gaming industry is such a powerhouse industry that you have different companies competing against each other, like well-known competitions against each other. Plus, you have a whole swath of indie gamers that taken off. That people really love indie games.
Yes.
People don't have to settle for. In fact, people kind of look down on AAA stuff and look up to indie games now. Like,
yes.
AAA stuff is the garbage now.
And the reason is because the barrier for entry is so much lower to make video games that have broad appeal and good production value and reach, where that is so much harder to do with film and good television. But because those entry barriers are lower with gaming, people can just say, get stuffed. I don't need that AAA garbage. There's AA things, which is just as good, if not better. And the massive success of certain AA titles like Pal World, like my brain just went dead. I'm sick and retarded. Remember, it's the Space Marine one fighting, even though they had issues. No. Well, that one, like the Warhammer game, did really.
You mean Helldivers?
Helldivers. Thank you, Helldivers. They shot themselves in the foot with their bullcrap community, engagement and stuff. They really. But
did you remember that one? It's like I forgot what it was called, but it was made by Russians for like $20, and it got huge numbers. It beat all the AAA games. I forget what it's called. It's like some simulator where you're being possessed by or obsessed over by an anime girl or something.
Oh, I've seen that one floating around. That one's done crazy numbers, right? And so like AA gaming can be really successful, and so in the sense of make your own culture, you can reject this word crap. Gaming is at the forefront of that. It's actually the prime example of doing exactly that. Oh my gosh. And so criticizing people for liking games is as dumb as criticizing people for liking sports or things like that. It's a stupid take. And look, I like Glenn Beck, but man, you need to define what you're criticizing. If you're not going to let your daughter date, and you're talking about a guy that doesn't have his life together, that's obviously more palatable than and understandable. I think I'd even agree. I'm going to be damn, I'm going to be picky with who my daughter dates at first. There's going to be a time that's going to be out of my control, of course, when she moves out and things. So it's my responsibility as a parent to instill in her the qualities that she should want in a man that will respect her and provide for her.
If he has more than 3 Funko Pops, no go.
Good standard. I think I agree with you there. Because when we talk about games and all that stuff, the line I probably draw is Funko Pops.
I have 2 Funko Pops.
Oh, dude, you're on the line, Mike.
I didn't buy them. They were gifts. But
I have one. It was a gift, and it's the Joker. I forgot which one it was, though.
Yeah, mine is Khaleesi and Khal Drogo.
There's a couple of other standards that I think I'm with you there, Lit Dev. Pineapple, liking pineapple on pizza. Oof, not sure I could allow that. That's a hard no.
You like Joker too, that you know that they're intelligent and cultured.
Good luck with that one, Lit Dev. I don't think you're gonna win that one. If they friggin' like the Star Wars sequels, that's just
just a no-go.
No,
automatic.
I was like, I'll sit my daughter down and say, you dump him like a sack of wheat. Not allowed. I'm
pretty sure at that point he probably wouldn't even like women.
So, Glenn, of course we agree. You have to have standards, but we're saying standards that make sense. This is what we're saying. So we have been trying to send this message to large conservative, traditional kind of talking points. People have messaged Matt constantly, and he just seems to not get the message. And he can not like anime, but to belittle anime, criticize people who like it, or gaming, or anything like that, is such a retarded move in what you're trying to achieve. You should be trying to galvanize the people who are willing to support you and push back against the woke stuff. And people love anime and gaming and stuff. It's just a huge, huge community who has honestly done probably significantly better pushback than most other communities in rejecting the woke nonsense. So, oh yeah, I know. I'm like, my camera has been on the fritz this entire stream, man. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll starting to wrap up. Buddy Rabbit for $2 says, what I heard was you love Jeremy, that's gay. And look, you caught me out on that. I can't really argue against that. And I already read that one, so I need to catch up. Escaflone. All right. Nathan Cassidy for 999 says, notice how Matt always says it's a joke whenever he makes a comment on video games and anime that blows up in his face. I have noticed that. And when I haven't seen the recent one, but I saw his last one about anime. there was no sign it was a joke at all. He said it completely unironically. He says, "Yeah, I actually think it's all satanic, really," kind of thing. And it's like, I think it's just deflecting. I actually think these are his opinions at this point. And Matt, the easy way to solve it, Matt, come out and tell me like what you like about anime, the virtues of it. If it's not satanic, you can address it completely. All right, but I haven't seen that. Tell me some of the anime he's willing to watch. And there's so many people willing to suggest stuff. We have a super chat today suggesting Escaflowne. I've got one that I would suggest that is just friggin' phenomenal. Yes, blows up face. And his fans are just as bad when they try to duel with weaponized autism.
I want to see him watch all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Maybe
Look, if you try to convince him anime's not gay, that's not the right one to start with, Dev. Yeah, you're fighting a losing battle with that one.
There's nothing gay about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Nope.
Yeah, sure. Nothing at all.
It's not. It's gay-ish.
The men don't even kiss very often. Right?
But if they're trying to
There's
weaponize
a little bit of butt
autism,
stuff.
if they're trying to weaponize autism, they'll have no chance against what is available in the gaming community, my friend. Don't even start there. Phil Collins 499 says, I find it funny that most people who hate gamers also will play games on their phones. Lol. Yeah, and again, they'll watch games in terms of sport, and they'll say, I'm allowed to sit on my rear end and eat copious amounts of food and get fat or whatever while watching sweaty men wrestle over a pig, an inflated pig skin, something like that.
Right? I got one for you, Ledev.
There it is.
I have the JoJo soundboard on my phone.
Dude.
The most bass soundboard ever.
I do not want to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Dude, it is so funny, Chad.
It's so good. You have to watch it.
Is it?
You have to watch it. There's only a little bit of butt stuff. Like you have, it's
only a little bit of butt stuff. Really, Lindev, you're not selling it.
Everything else is great, including the butt stuff.
It's so gay. It's based.
It is so gay, it will turn gay people straight.
It's like, you know how you're always talking about how Barbie went all the way around the bend and then came back to being bit. It's like that.
Like Dio has he spends like 2 seasons having a giant orgy. That's pretty straight.
You're not winning me.
I haven't gotten to that season yet.
All right. Buddy Rabbit again, $5 says it's literally negative 55% of American men of working age that play video games. Beck's comment is tantamount to he has to be over 6 foot levels of absurd. 6 feet. He has to be over 6 foot. Is levels of absurd. Yeah, it's such a misinformed comment. It's one of those boomer comments. It's people that don't understand the culture, the modern day culture, I should say, because Beck, he has some good takes. He has some good understanding about certain things, but in terms of pop culture, it doesn't look like he's informed on it at all. Buddy Rap for $2 says, male gaze bad. Did I say that? He's quoting me. Maybe. Said the male gaze, as in the eye gaze. The eye gaze. It sounds the same, though. I can't fault him in that. Buddy Rap $5 says, heck, I don't even like anime, but if media literacy exists, Matt is that for pop culture. Doesn't know much about it. Mark of Reality for $10 says, I wish that gun would bring back Shazam. After his 18 and living in that infested New York apartment. That's the classic team up between Shazam and Superman that defeats Black Adam. There's a cartoon animation of Superman fighting Black Adam with Shazam. Shazam can work. There's so much I like about Shazam. I'm not a huge fan of the movies. I think they were okay, but the concept of Shazam, I friggin' love. You know, it's a kid that transforms into a superhero with the magic word.
He has a kid's morality too. So he's like more Boy Scout than Superman.
I love that about him. And it has a classic superhero outfit, like something that looks really traditional. And like, if there's any superhero that could actually, like, I don't think he'll ever take the crown of Superman as the iconic superhero, but the one that could potentially challenge Superman as one of the OG iconic superheroes. I reckon Shazam is actually one of the Captain Marvel originally.
Oh, he did take him on. He take him on, and he was beating him. That's why DC sued their company pretty much into bankruptcy, and then scooped him up and took over. Captain Marvel. That was one of the dirtiest tricks. And
I mean, there's even old black and white cartoons of Captain Marvel back in the day. Like he was big. He was
huge. He was huge.
Yep. And so he's one of the OG iconic superheroes.
I know. And then do you remember his sidekick Steamboat?
No. I know Miss Marvel came in and he got his sidekicks and stuff.
No, he had a sidekick.
Mary
in the original Captain Marvel. So
really?
You want me to bring it up? Here, I'll bring it up.
Yeah. We'll catch up some of the super chats while you look at that. Creation Energy for $10 says, I think free reign is good, but they messed up the magic system when they introduced that it is tied in with a mage's imagination, which is an excuse to make the magic inconsistent. It is still good though.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate.
I'm trying to remember, when did they bring that in the TV show?
Well, there was during the test with U-Bell. It's kind of goes around the parts with U-Bell in it. The armpit mage, I call her, because that's kind of what everyone obsesses over, her armpit. But anyway,
really, I missed that part.
Yeah, that's like the meta humor there, where everyone every picture you see of her is her armpit, because she's always like, he has like a little scythe or something that they always pause. She raises up above her head, and they always pause so you can see her armpit.
Oh no, that's his sidekick. Oh no,
this was his sidekick.
A different time, people. It was made at a different time. Don't judge him for this.
Why did they bring the guy back?
Do you remember that? What was the name of that video? The movie that Damon Wayans made? He's a superhero, but it was like and it was like literally, it was freaking Steamboat. It wasn't Steamboat, but it was like Stupid Man or something like that. I can't remember what happened to
him. I never seen that guy. What happened to him? They had a whole movie where they bring him back.
Yeah, right.
This is a whole sidekick. I mean, they didn't.
Blank Man. Thank you, Quandale Dingle. Yeah.
Oh, they said White Man.
Blank Man. It was pretty much Steamboat.
With the imagination stuff, that's going to happen with U-Bell, and they're talking about a test where she took the test to become a first-class mage beforehand, and the test was, okay, hurt this guy or hit this guy as hard as you can and get him to back up and get an
yes, I remember
cape
now, and it's because her belief that she can cut through anything is so ingrained in her psyche that she can basically cut through anything.
And she cut the guy in half and killed him. And that's kind of why she got to get demoted to third class or something.
Yeah, I'll need to think about that because it's an interesting mechanic. I would like, some of the rules to be a bit more solid and concrete because I prefer that in Magic. So you're right, though. It's a good thing to bring up creation energy. Good point. Buddy Rat for $20 says, Daily Wire and Beck functionally promote sitting around thinking about Rome, reclining in loafers, smoking a cigar, and watching pundits all day and being a hawk on politics. Your breaks are spent reading Locke. Okay, and this is the thing. Sitting down and spending your whole day reading a book is as lazy as sitting down and watching TV the whole day. It depends what you're reading in terms of how fulfilling it is, if it's, inspiring you, educating you, or anything like that. But they are just as, what is the word, sedentary, non-moving, non-active pursuits. Okay. Now, in terms of reading, I think reading does exercise the brain a bit more.
Way more, because your mind is creating the imagery, right?
Depends what you're watching, because you can be because there's of course slop that you can read, and there's really educational or uplifting, inspiring stuff you can watch, on TV. But reading is a more brain engaging pursuit. I will give it that credit. But in terms of, is it making you more fit? No, it's not. Okay. Buddy Rat.
Quandale says, and below that is watching streamers.
Buddy Rat $5 says, Billy got done dirty in Infamous. Send your hate mail to Mike S. Miller.
Infamous. Oh, Injustice.
Injustice.
You're going to have to re-super chat that, buddy. Jeez.
And Blue Sunrise $5. Shad, you would like JoJo. There are lots of cool fights. It's one of the most creative battle animes. Lit Dev has not helped your argument there.
It's so funny, dude. It is
Look,
hilarious.
maybe I'll just poke my head into it.
He gets out of fighting this one guy by saying that he's out of shape, and the other guy is just he's gonna beat him, and it's gonna be no fun because it's gonna be no challenge because he's like injured and tired and stuff, and he's like, if he really wants to fight, then he needs to fight me when I'm at the peak of my performance. So the guy gives him like a year to train in order for him to fight him.
I think they put like 3 bombs in him too.
Yeah. So they put a bomb in case he
runs away
on the fight. He'd
that way, if you don't come back in a year, you're going to explode.
Yeah.
He's fighting like Aztecian vampires.
Buddy Rabbit, back to you. Mike says, shut up, Mike. You can't even read half the time. Oh, my predictive text needs constant proofreading.
Terrible. I do a Bible study. I read every day, and I read mostly correctly.
Mostly. This has been a fun one. I've been sick, but that usually adds to the stupidness, which is always good. So wrapping up, Mike, anything that you want to share before we duck out?
No, I'm a grandpa.
You're a grandpa. Congrats, Mike.
It's pretty cool.
Not
gonna lie. It's my last level up before, what else is there? Great grandpa? That's gonna be a while.
You still look 30. You immortal bastard.
I'm 53 years old. Oh yeah, follow me on Blacklist Universe there. Buddy posted up there. I haven't put up any videos last week, but I've been.
I almost look older than you, Mike. I got more gray.
Oh no, you do.
More gray here.
You definitely look older than me.
Thanks for that.
Just to reassure you.
It's wisdom. Lit Dev, anything you want to share, mate?
Oh yeah, just usually I have my morning nonsense shows every weekday morning around 8:35 a.m. Eastern or so. And tomorrow we'll be doing part 2 of EFAPing, the Dragon Age Veilguard the fail compilation that Mahler put out. That's been hilarious to watch. So we're doing part 2 tomorrow.
Nice. Awesome stuff. And everyone knows where I'm from. I got videos out on Night's Watch and Shadiversity. YouTube is changing, and so I've got a new strategy going forward with Shadiversity. We'll see if that works out or not. We'll have to wait. Future's an unknown thing, people. But I'm having fun working on my next book. That's my focus, my big goal. I want to get it out this year.
Shad's going to be doing The Return of Steamboat.
No, I'm doing a medieval fantasy.
All
right.
I had this really cool thing that I think it might work. It's called John Wilkes, and it'll be about John Wilkes Booth and the assassination of the president, but John Wilkes style.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We love doing these. It's always fun. And as always, stay on watch. Farewell.